What's up, guys? It's Ethan here, and welcome back to another video. It's been a while since our last CDL roster update videos. Instead of doing one for every single roster, got busy with work. So I decided to go ahead and just wait until all of the rosters were finalized. And today they were. So we're going to dive into this video to be talking about all the new rosters and recap some of the other ones that you've maybe been a long time since you've heard about their roster changes. So we're going to recap all of them with the season leading up to here in just a few weeks. If you enjoy the video and the Call of Duty League content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a like if you don't mind. And let me know what you think about these rosters in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the video. All right, guys, so here we are, a roster snapshot that the Call of Duty League put out about a month ago. And we see all the other roster moves that were made with FaZe dropping Slasher, bringing in Draza, Breach picking up Slasher, and Priesta bringing back Capsule to play alongside Snoopy. Surge has Abuza, Arcides, Illy, and Hook. We see kind of few changes like the Ultra bringing back everybody except Hixie signing Envoy instead. LA Thieves cleaned house, and we got Afro, Cammy, Ghosty, and Joe Deceives on there. Sib swapped out, went to New York after they dropped Priesta. And Miami brought in a whole new squad because they are no longer the Florida Mutineers. They're the Miami Heretics. Vickles, the only returning moment. Eric Boom, Mentals, Lucky, and Journey are the new members there. And the reason all five are mentioned, you can kind of see it down here. Let me move my cam. Is because I don't think they know which one's going to be the sub yet. I think all five of them are having a chance for the starting lineup, and one of them will for sure be the sub, but they do not know yet. Optic has a huge offseason, bringing in Pred and Kenny. I think which is going to be quite insane. And then Rocker completely re-signed everybody, bringing back Accuracy, Lens, Awakening, and Vivid. All right, so down here you can see that the Carolina Royal Ravens, previously London Royal Ravens, Los Angeles Gorilla, and the Vegas Legion have not officially signed anybody. Well, that was at the time of this snapshot that the Call of Duty League posted, which it has now been about a month since that happened. So we have now gotten their rosters, the most recent one being the Los Angeles Gorillas, and they have officially signed Assault, Estriel, Diamondcon, and Fame. I'm all right with the idea of bringing Assault back. I didn't think he was their worst player. Diamondcon had a really good year on their academy team. Estriel, a challengers player, give him the chance. And then Fame had a decent outing on the Minnesota Rocker last year. He just had to play a little bit in a different position than he was ready or not really prepared for. And so I was thinking, this isn't the worst roster, but it also kind of is considering who they left on the table. People like Asim left free agent at this current moment, which is really sad to see. You missed a lot of the LA Gorillas drama. They had, I can't remember who exactly they had, but I know they had an entire roster. And it was unofficial. They were scrimming as the Los Angeles Gorillas roster. They got a new coach, and that new coach completely wiped everything clean and brought in his team, which their coach that they brought in, I forgot his name at the moment, he was their academy team coach. So it makes sense that he's going to bring Diamond Khan in, who had a really impressive season with them. And I thought Assault wasn't the problem last year. I think it was just a lot of problems, but I don't think it was necessarily Assault's fault. He is a world champion. We got to remember that. So the Los Angeles Gorillas have officially secured their team. Also, the Las Vegas Legion, bringing in Attach, Nero, Standy, and Purgy. And I think this, or Purge, actually, I think this is actually a really good team. I'm a little interested to see how Purge does, considering, he's been a challenger player. He's had a lot of success winning in challengers. However, we're just going to have to see how he makes that jump. Some challengers players can make it, like, Scrappy. Others cannot. So we're going to have to see what he does, but he's playing alongside, I think, three good individual players. Standy and Attach have history together, and Nero is a fast-paced sub who's going to be getting in people's faces and trying to disrupt the entire game plan of every team they play. And I don't think he was the problem on Boston either, in my opinion. And so I'm kind of excited to see him get a fresh start here. Vegas Legion, everyone thinks they're going to finish last, like always. And they can do what last year's team did and use that to their advantage, catch people off guard, make a run that's actually going to be impressive. And then the Carolina Royal Ravens. I'm actually a huge fan of this team. Riel is here, new player, from technically a new player. He's been in the CDL before. He had a stint on the Minnesota Rocker back in Modern Warfare, I believe. I think that was the year he played. Gwen is here, from Challengers, had a really impressive year. God RX is back in, also had a run with Minnesota Rocker back in Modern Warfare 2019. And of course, one of the GOATs, Clayster. I think this is also a team that could be pretty dangerous too, just because you got Clayster leading a bunch of young players who are still entering their prime, could be in their prime, or about to hit their prime. And he has been around for so long, and he's kind of taken on that role. He was that missing piece for a bunch of championship teams, and now he's that guy that they want around the young players, showing them the ropes, showing them how to play the game, how to practice the game, things like that. So I think this is going to be a pretty cool team. Now that we have all the rosters, I went to my CDL Rostermania tier list kind of thing. This isn't necessarily a tier list, but it's on Tier Maker. And I have officially put them all together, all of the rosters right here. And if you've been seeing some of my recent YouTube videos, this is the list we were making when I was making my roster predictions. And so some of them kind of worked out, some of them didn't. I had the right idea of attach going to the Las Vegas Legion. I knew Hook, Illy, RCs were kind of going to want to be together. That's been a rumor for a very, very long time. I'm very excited to see where some of these CDL teams can go. There's a lot of question marks. I know LA Thieves is going to be a big question mark. Can Cammy return back to the form that we saw him of Cammy in Cold War, which was mind-boggling good? Is the Minnesota Rocker going to work? Is accuracy going to be able to lead Awakening and Vivid? And now Lens. I don't know. We're going to find out. Seattle, apparently they've got 3 ARs, and so we're going to have to see what that works out. Seattle's really had a hard time building good rosters lately. Pred kind of fell into their lap, and Sib wanted that chance, if that makes sense. Because Sib was if I'm correct, he was for 2 years. No, I'm not 2 years. He was in Challengers Modern Warfare 2019, and then got to be a sub player for the Atlanta FaZe in the 2021 season. He is credited with a world championship as their sub. Of course, nobody's calling him a world champion too much because he didn't actually play in that season. Went to Seattle Surge and Vanguard, had a lot of had success in Modern Warfare 2. Now he's got his big payday at the New York Subliners. But, he was still coming up when Seattle picked him up. Also, they got Accuracy, who was just kind of looking for a spot, a veteran on the team. Mac was looking for a spot after having a pretty decent run in New York. And so it kind of just all fell in their lap. And I don't think, other than their roster that they had for Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2, when you look at that Cold War and that 2019 Modern Warfare roster, they don't really have the best skills in building a roster, and we're kind of seeing that now. The only thing that I could potentially see is Arcides actually being one of the people who moves back to the sub. If you remember back in his Huntsman days, he could actually run a flex, so he was running a sub most of the time. And the reason he went to Atlanta FaZe was, one, he wanted to win a world championship, but two, he wanted to run the main AR. And so I could see him potentially saying, like, hey, I've got to kind of do something I'm not comfortable with again, but it's so I can stay on a roster and also kind of have the best chance to win. So we're going to see. I think Boston's got a really good roster. I think I talked about that in one of my videos. Slasher, Priesta, Capsidal, and Snoopy. Big fan of that roster. We're just going to have to see how Snoopy and Capsidal play out. Priesta and Slasher, world champions. Been playing for a while now. We know what they're going to bring to the table. And actually, I think the 4 best teams without a shadow of a doubt are FaZe, Optic, Ultra, and Subliners. And I'm actually going to put Subliners on the bottom of the 4. This isn't even ranked by I didn't do this in order, but it kind of plays out to how I think. I think New York is going to be on the bottom of the top 4 because you traded one of your world championship pieces. And yes, I think if you combine all the attributes side by side, Sib seems like a better Call of Duty player, but you can't undervalue Priest's experience. Played for a world championship in 2019 and 2020. So that's a big thing that people forget about when he was on 100 Thieves and then the Atlanta FaZe in the Modern Warfare season. So you have to think, he wasn't just the weakest link of that team. I think there were a lot of other areas he was bringing to the table in terms of he stepped up at Champs, made a lot of big plays in big matches in the whole Champs tournament. Even though he had some stinkers, he would bounce back and have a good match. And I think that's something that they could potentially miss. I personally think Sib is someone, when he gets knocked down, he might be down. We'll just have to see. He's had a few moments where he's shown resilience and battled through challenging times in series. So we're just going to have to see, but I'm still going to put them at the bottom of the top 4. Ultra, I understand everybody's saying, how could you drop Hixie? He had such a great rookie season. He helped you guys win a major. All true, but nobody in the Call of Duty fan base is going to say Hixie was a better choice than like keeping Hicksy was a better choice than bringing in Envoy, right? I mean, come on. Envoy's a world champion as well, decorated, been on a lot of good teams, and he's been on some of the best teams, high popularity teams with Thieves and Optic. And I think that adds a whole different level of talent when you account for handling pressure, being calm, putting your head down, ignoring the noise, and working. That's something that's valuable. And so I think he is by far a very dangerous threat. And Optic, dude, they are just crazy. Kenny has not fallen off. If anybody thought Kenny struggled last year compared to his Vanguard run, no. Kenny's doing great. That is a great pickup. Shotzi and Dashi, you know what you're going to get. And then Pred's arguably the best, or one of the top 2 or 3 SMGs in the game right now. But I still got to give it to FaZe. I think FaZe has such a team with such talent that, you know, that leadership ability that Arcity's brought, that Slasher brought. I think that they're going to kind of be able to keep themselves accountable with that. And I think Crowder's going to try to step in and probably, he's always been vocal, but I think he knows he's going to have a little bit of different type of control, because when you think of like an IGL, I mean, I guess it's Sim maybe. Sim could be the one to do it. Maybe Draza. So we'll just have to see, but this team's search and destroy is about to be out of this world. Draza is an amazing search and destroy player, and he's playing with the trio of death, is what I like to say. Simp and Amizi are primed for a good year with the same mechanics, same kind of flow of Modern Warfare 2, except better movement, better guns, hopefully fully better maps. So if BZ was, I think, the best sub in Modern Warfare 2, expect him to bounce back. And I really feel like they're trying to poise Simp to bounce back as well, because he was having an uncharacteristic year. Simp's numbers, he was still a top 10, top 8 sub in the league, but we're used to seeing him in that top 3 range. So I think he's going to bounce back. And then Celium's the best flex in the game, hands down, no questions asked. He's clutch. He's cheesy, man. He's got that cheesy spots. He knows about the game, so he's always going to be a dangerous person. But I'm very excited to see this CDL season take place. I cannot wait. We're going to be dropping our official team kind of like projection of the season, our power rankings, you could say, coming here very soon on the channel. So make sure to subscribe and be ready for that video. If you like these rosters, let me know in the comments below. Let me know your favorite one that you like to root for. And then that's your biased answer. And then give me your unbiased answer of who you think has the best team. I'll make sure to do it as well. Hope you guys have had a great day. Thank you for tuning into the video. Subscribe for more CDL content in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.